Hello friends and welcome into the Cowboys Report presented by BetDSI. I am your host Tom Downey. Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at WhatGoingDowney for some more Cowboys coverage. Cowboys have to play the Texans here in just a little bit, but first we'll take you through the latest Cowboys news and rumors. First up, Terrance Williams. Well, he's headed back to an injury report. He's now going to IR, placed on IR with a foot injury in what has been a very strange 2 weeks for Terrance Williams. Frankly, it's really been a strange offseason in general, and season in general for Terrance Williams. First off, had the foot injury in the offseason, then got arrested for public intoxication, even though it was really a DUI. Garrett had previously cited off-the-field issues for why T. Will had missed some practices and missed a game. And then he says, well, actually, the foot's bothering him, and now they just straight put Terrance Williams on IR. So I don't know if it's just the foot. Maybe T. Will is a little bit upset about his playing time, about maybe something like what we saw with Rashard Matthews, where the Cowboys, or at least T. Will thinks the Cowboys are using the injury as an excuse to not play him as much. Now, T. Will can return later in the season, but he's very much been relegated to a complete bench role in the past couple weeks with the Cowboys, so not exactly the biggest loss for Dallas, even though he was their leading returning receiver, if you believe that. So with T. Will's future very much in doubt, what should the Cowboys do with Williams? Type K for keep and type C for cut. You obviously can't cut him right now, but I'll tell you what, at the end of the year, I don't see how T. Will comes back on this roster. He is going to be gone. Probably not traded, probably more cut instead, but I don't see T. Will playing for the Cowboys beyond the season. Frankly, we might have already seen his last snap as a Dallas Cowboy. The deep dark fear for me is that we've also seen the last snap for Travis Frederick. Now, I don't think that's the case, and the Cowboys were hopeful he could come back earlier in the season. They have now placed him on IR in part to make room for David Irving, who we'll get to here in just a second. He is eligible to return in early December, and there is still no timetable for Frederick's return to football. Now, as he continues to battle Guillain-Barré syndrome, that's just going to be a difficult timetable to follow and track because there really isn't a standard timetable. This is not like an ACL where, in most cases, you're back around that 9 to 12-month period at worst. With Guillain-Barré, it's a much more open-ended timetable. So I think Frederick will play again for the Cowboys. I don't know if it's going to be this year. Hopefully he's able to get healthy soon for his own personal health and, of course, for the Cowboys' play on the field. Folks, today's show was brought to you by BetDSI. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use promo code Cowboys120 for a 120% deposit bonus. Put down $100, they'll give you $120 for free for a grand total of $220 to bet with on BetDSI. You are literally playing with house money if you sign up at chatsports.com/bet and use promo code Cowboys120. All right, more Cowboys news here. David Irving, as the saga continues for Irving. He is now on the 53-man roster for the Cowboys, partially why they placed T. Will and Frederick on IR. They need to put one of those guys there. They've now put, at least make room for Irving at the minimum. He practiced with the team on Wednesday, then missed Thursday and Friday for what head coach Jason Garrett called personal reasons. Now, I don't know what those reasons are. Jerry Jones declined comment earlier today on what they were. We might never know what they are. All we know is there's always something with David Irving. There's always something going on that limits his impact on the field, be it suspensions, arrests, whatever it is. There's always something with David Irving. Hopefully it's minor. Hopefully it's not a big deal. Hopefully he comes back and makes an impact for the Cowboys. But there's a reason why Dallas refuses to trust this guy. Now, I mentioned that the Cowboys activated David Irving from a suspension and put both Terrance Williams and Travis Frederick on IR. Now, what that means is the Cowboys actually have one extra active roster spot. They will not use that tonight against the Texans. Instead, they'll just go with 52 men and leave one man inactive. So they're going to have to add somebody. Now, your first thought is always to go, hey, what does the practice squad look like? Well, with Terrance Williams on IR, maybe you call up Lance Lowe and have him help you out on special teams too. That could be an option there. Maybe you look to the other side of the line. Maybe you bring in another OT and a Jake Campos, which I think is a bit of a long shot in general. Maybe you call up another special teams linebacker guy in Kyle Cairo. Maybe you look for another secondary guy. Donovan Lumba, you're only carrying 4 corners after all. Maybe you bring in Tristan DeCoud. He's a safety. You're a little thin there. Maybe you try and bring back Tyree Robinson, who I was surprised wasn't added to the practice squad. If he's going to make the active roster, shouldn't he be on the practice squad too? And then you only see 9 guys there. Defensive tackle Christian Ringo was cut by the Cowboys from their practice squad. They've continuously looked to add different defensive tackles. don't be surprised if somebody else gets added. Of course, the big name still out there is Dez Bryant. And I know what you guys like. I know what you want. So should the Cowboys bring back Dez Bryant? Type 1 for yes, type 2 for no. As I've said before, I don't see it happening. The Cowboys don't seem all interested. Yes, Dez is interested. That's a new note for the Cowboys and for Dez that he's expressed interest because he wants to be a Cowboy, I guess. But the Cowboys don't feel the same way. And in the end, I love Dez. The Cowboys made a mistake by cutting him. There is a reason you typically don't see divorced couples get back together. It typically doesn't work out. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section.